Hi, my name is Rob McKenna, and I want to talk to you a little bit about my book that's just come out, Dying to Lead. Dying to Lead, Sacrificial Leadership in a Self-Centered World. This is a book that gets into some really challenging issues for leaders, and the challenge is really inherent in the title. The title, Dying to Lead, has a double meaning. And the first part of that is, if you're a leader and you're responsible for the work and development of someone else, you're responsible for the work and development of someone else, you have to want that responsibility to step into that kind of a role. And at the very same time, that's not enough. You also have to be willing to sacrifice yourself in the process. And the fact is that when you start to lead, whether you're in a season of success or failure, that in either case, you start to protect certain things about that leadership. And it's something that's natural for us to do as human beings. So this book gives you a chance to break into some of those things. And it comes down to a very core. So you might be wondering, what are some of the practical stories within this book, the things that you will learn as you go through reading Dying to Lead? One thing that I was an intention of mine in writing this was that it was sort of a get real book about what it means to lead, where I don't really pull any punches in terms of what it means to lead well. And one thing that comes up with a lot of leaders is how difficult it is to be their vulnerable selves, to really say, to put themselves out there for the sake of those they lead. And that's just one of the risks that's inherent in leadership. As I mentioned, this book is about sacrifice. So one question that's begged over and over again in this book is, what would you be willing to sacrifice yourself for when it comes to those you lead? Would you sacrifice yourself for their sake? And you could be saying, well, practically, what does that mean? Well, that means, would you be willing to to cut your salary in half, as an example? Would you be willing to get no credit for the next thing that you do, or even to take the blame for those that you lead? Those are all possibilities. But one of the other important questions is, would you be able or willing to expose yourself for who you really are, to be your vulnerable self? Some people have struggles when they think about sharing who they really are with the people that they lead and saying, this is who I am, these are the things that make me insecure, these are the things that make me nervous, this is how I deal with high pressure situations, these are some of my bad habits. But the reality is we all have those things. One of my mentors at one point called that the imposter syndrome. In other words, we all have this person inside of us who feels like an imposter in life, like I don't really deserve the credit I'm getting. I don't know how I got into this leadership role in the first place. I mean, I felt this when I first became a parent. I had no idea how to change a diaper, and they passed me when I held my first son in my hands, and I'm thinking, I don't know how to change a disposable diaper, let alone one with pins in it. And I think most leaders feel the same way a lot of times when they step into those roles. So it's my hope that you'll get a chance to pick this book up. If you're someone who feels like you have potential to lead, or you want to lead, or you find yourself in a position of accountability for the work and development of someone else, that you'll pick this up and hopefully get a chance to reflect deeply on the questions that drive your leadership, the things that motivate you, and also to go a little bit deeper in understanding the nature of your own character and who you are, not just what you do, but who you are, and how that affects how you lead every day of your life.